This video is just a summary of the safety in the shop. I'm going to take a walk around the shop, which I would normally do with the students, just as a review for you. So let's start up here at the circuit breaker panel, and this is the indicator up here that the power is on, and the main power switch is right here by the door. And if you turn this off, the light goes off, and the only way it can be turned back on is if I take the key and actually turn it back on. So we will need the power on when you're working in the shop at the outlets. So if you're using a piece of electrical equipment back there and it's not working, look up here and make sure that power switch is on first. And if it's not, you need me then to turn this on. Okay, please do not open up this panel. All right. We have 4 fire extinguishers in the room. We have one here. There's one over by the tool cabinet over there. There's one over in the corner of the room over there, and one at the corner of the room over there. Over here we have the keys for the shop vehicles. Please make sure they get hung back up here when you're done using them. And if you want to hang up your hat, we have a hat rack here. And in here is hearing protection, shop coats, sanding masks. So right in here, okay? There's enough for everybody in terms of the hearing protection if need be. Shop coats, if you have one, you could bring your own and hang it up. Also has some aprons. If you need a textbook, they're in here. Okay, so let's keep going on. First aid kit. It's hanging up here by the wash basin. Do not open the kit with it hanging on the... If I open this up right now, everything will fall out. So make sure you take it down, put it on a desk when you open it. And if you use something inside of here, write down on the little sheet here what you used. A Band-Aid, just so I can keep track of what we use up. If you do injure yourself, don't forget to inform me immediately, and then we get you medical attention. Do not use equipment or attempt a procedure you're not trained on, or in terms of the equipment. Okay? And always inform me if you injure yourself, just so I know. If worst came to worst, I needed you to phone the office. 311 is the office, so you could phone them. Recycling, our garbage bin here, our safety procedures are in here. WHMIS, Workplace Hazardous Material Information System, material safety data sheets, and other specific safety information is right here at the front door. Okay. Your responsibilities in the shop are posted here. Follow the safety rules and procedures, know what they are, ask for training or help if you're unsure, work safely and no fooling around, report unsafe conditions or equipment, encourage others to work safely, and make suggestions to improve safety. And if you can come up with some, I'm going to reward you with marks for that, because that shows your thinking. Alright, our floor plan for the shop is up here, and if there was ever a fire, that up here is the fire alarm indicator. It'll go beep, 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 and like a cricket, and it'll flash. And we go out the back doors. There's the fire exit sign, and we're going out those doors. If for some reason we couldn't get out there, then we would go out the main door. All right? Okay, so let's just keep moving on here. Let's head this way. Wash basin, I want you to keep in mind when you want to turn on the water here, push downwards, never pull upwards on this, because it'll undo the linkage in here, then I'll have to take this all apart just to hook it back up. So only push downwards on the pedal. Okay, soap. When it comes to using the soap, can I suggest, because this thing never seems to work, what I tell people to do is just put it at an angle, so that gets into the soap, and then you're just going to wipe that onto your hands. Don't pour it out like this, because you end up wasting more than you need. If you need hand towels after washing your hands, make sure you always wash your hands at the end of class, or if you're going to sit down and you're done working, please always wash. Hand towels are here. If there's none here, they are situated under here, okay, if you need more. If we run out of soap, I always keep an extra container of soap over here. Now, eye wash station. Please do not play with this, but if we were ever in need, unfortunately, if someone got chemicals in their eyes, you'd put one hand here and one hand here, and at the same time you'd push and these little caps would pop off and the water would come out, but I don't want you to play with that, please. It's only if we actually need it. Up here we have a CO detector, carbon monoxide detector, and it also oxides the nitrogen and it measures it. So that controls a fan that's up on the ceiling up there. So if the alarm went here, we would know there's a high CO or NOx reading, and that fan would automatically come on because it's in the auto position. I can move it to the manual position and the fan will come on. Okay. If you use rags from the clean container here and they get oil soaked, don't put them here. Put them in the red container. Okay, that's what it's for. If you use one of these rags and it's just got some dirt on it, then don't put it back in the clean one. Put it in this box right here. So this is kind of like clean, not too dirty, not oil soaked, oil soaked. All right. Okay. Our hydraulic press, if we ever need it, we'll just move our creepers off here. And of course, a creeper is a device we lay on. Here's some more over here to go underneath vehicles to do our work. Please be careful if you have long hair. I've had it where the hair gets caught in these wheels and we've had to actually take the scissors and cut someone's hair off just so they can get free from this. So please be very careful using the creepers. If you find one that the wheel is loose, like in terms of the nut on top, don't use it. Let's tighten it up. Let me know. Make sure they go back up here when you're done. And please don't stand on them, because then they get dirty, and the whole idea is you're going to lay on it with your clean clothes. So if I see you standing on it or making it dirty, I'm going to make you clean all of them off. So be careful with that. We have knee pads here. So if you're doing some work that the vehicle's down low, you can put your knees on here or your clean clothes on here so they're not on the floor, and it's more comfortable. All right. Okay, I'm going to have to make a couple videos here. We're already at 7 minutes. These are fender covers that you can put on the side of a vehicle so you don't scratch or get the fender dirty. All right, so we'll make use of those. That's where they're located. Now, in terms of air hoses, I already did a video on air hoses. You can watch that. But here's one of the receptacles here. There is another one over there. They're painted white. There is one over by the black door. There is one back by the Varsol tank, the wash basin back there. There's another one right here, and another one right about there, but it's being used by the tire machine. So this one back here, do not take this out. That's why I wrote this on here. Do not remove. So we taped it up so you'll know not to take that off there. Okay. Grinder. All right. Well, first of all, tool cupboard, there's a separate video on the tool cupboard. Just make sure everything gets put back in its proper place. Tools, make sure you clean them when you're done. If it's a damaged tool, don't put it back. Hand it in to me. And make sure it goes back in the proper spot. So if you find this is a, let's see here, 16 millimeter socket. And if someone accidentally put it in the 13 and you grabbed it and you realize, oh, that's not in the right spot, don't put it back in the wrong spot. It says 16, so put it in the spot that says 16. So please make sure tools get put back where they're supposed to be, not just where you found it. Electrical tools down here, earmuffs, gloves, air-operated tools, so pneumatics. Underneath there is, for the air hose. Just be careful with this. We never use air pressure to clean our clothes. I don't want to see you doing that. And we never direct air at someone's body. Okay? So that's a big no-no. You can see here I'm doing some work on these because if you find a tool that's damaged, like for example, see the grinding disc here? It's cut. It's cracked. So I got to replace that, and I got to put a new wheel on the cutoff wheel. Vices. If you find the jaws are loose, these ones are good and tight, or if the bolts here holding the whole vise are loose, please don't use it. Let me know. Guards. Any kind of equipment that has a guard or a tool rest or something like this, if it's loose or damaged, do not use the tool. Let me know about it. Grinders. Keep in mind, you only grind on the front and never jam it in. You only grind on the front and never jam it in. You never grind on the sides, okay? And the wire wheel, never hold the device, the item you're actually cleaning, never hold it with your hand. Hold it with a pair of vice grips so your hands are never close to that. And this is, turn it on, you put it to on, hit the power button to turn it on, and if it doesn't come on, make sure that's not pushed in. That's got to be in the out position for this to work. Alright? And then put it off. You have to use this face shield when over top of your safety glasses, alright, when you're using either the grinder, the cutoff wheel, the hand grinder, alright? I just want for the sake of safety. And also, those kind of tools, those grinding tools, never use it if we smell gasoline, because the sparks created by these tools could ignite the fumes. So please be careful of that. If we're using any equipment that is loud, exceeds 85 decibels, we have to wear hearing protection. A good example of that is like the air hose. When you're using this tool, that makes a lot of noise. The air hammer, it's very noisy, right? And also the cutoff tool. Okay, what do we at? 11:20. All right, so there's another air receptacle. Please make sure everything gets cleaned off when you're done with it. When you're working in the shop, you don't put your safety glasses away until you've cleaned away all your tools. You've wiped down the area you're working. It's nice and clean. Then you can put away your tools. There's a shop vac here if we need it. Make sure the air hoses are hanging up nice big loops. I don't want them too tight. I don't want them crossed. All right. There's a separate video on these saws, okay? So I'm not going to talk about those. And coming back here, there's a separate video on the drill press. So watch that. There's another fire extinguisher. Back here, when it comes to tire machines, separate video. Balancer, there's a separate video. There's a tire tank, so got to put some water in there. And when it's full of water, just be careful if you have something electrical around. Alright, let's keep moving along here. Another vise. Here's the rear tool cabinet. Okay, so with what's in here is electrical tools, engine, mechanical service tools, diagnosis tools, pullers, things like that. There's a separate video on using the hoist, so I expect you to watch that. There's a separate video on preparing a vehicle for startup. There are separate videos in regards to using the floor jacks and the support stands. If you do use a stool, please be careful how, not to be on the edge and have it flip over on you, okay? We don't want anyone falling. There's a separate video on using chargers, be it the roll cart charger or this little portable type like this. Notice how I got the cords out of the way of where we walk. Alright, we want to make sure that they're not in the way. And here, you have to always be careful when you walk around. There might be cords where we have no choice but to put them across. So be careful about that. And what I'm going to do, this is the end of part 1, and then I'll do another video for part 2.